Yo, what's up, your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching UnrealEntGaming. And we're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super Ultra Ego Vegeta vs. Cobris finale. Gohan encounters another destroyer. Oh shit. So it's the finale, boy. We about to see Vegeta. Okay. Hey, Vegeta gotta get this dub, right? You know what I'm saying? Vegeta don't lose out here, nigga. Let's get to it. Look, this loud to the motherfucker.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of Vegeta being shown having to finally break himself free from Lord Cobris' control, as with a bloodthirsty and vengeful Vegeta now setting his sights in getting Universe 14's God of Destruction back for what he did, was when Vegeta then went on to respond, "I could never expect for someone like you to ever come close in understanding what it means to wield the pride of a Saiyan destroyer. For as a God of Destruction, you sit at the very top of the food chain while the rest of us have to earn our way to the top of that mountain, and guess what? It's time that you come to face the fact that you're about to get knocked off your throne by none other than a Saiyan elite. Because of what you tried to do to me," Vegeta continues, "I have never felt more driven and more eager to annihilate someone as I am right now. And this bloodlust that I feel, this overwhelming desire to see you beaten, is all the motivation that I need to finish our little story." Is that so? Cobris went on to then quickly respond. "For you to even assume your place as a mortal to be anywhere near my level of power is disrespectful to the highest degree, Saiyan. So you may have escaped my control, but you are nothing compared to me, and I will show you no mercy this time around, Vegeta. For you will cease to exist, and if I was wrong to assume your loyalty, then your defeat will be absolute and a testament to your foolishness in challenging a God of Destruction of my supreme caliber, Vegeta. Oh, then I welcome you to go ahead and do your worst, because if you intend to destroy me," Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, "then you better make sure that you don't miss. So one way or another, you will be the one who will be forced to submit to me, just like you tried to do with me, Destroyer.
Oh shit.
But maybe it's just me, God of Destruction, or is it? Maybe this feeling that I'm getting, which I sense coming from your spirit, is a clear sign and indication of fear, am I right? Surely you couldn't possibly help to see yourself losing to a mere Saiyan who happens to wield destroyer levels of power, do you? Well, for your sake, I hope that you truly are on a level that is far beyond my ability to reach, because I am going to hit you with a fury the likes of which you have never seen before."
Talk your shit, Vegeta.
As Goku then went on to respond, "Gosh, is it me, or does Vegeta appear a lot crazier and more aggressive now than how he was shown having to be before, Whis? And it's strange because I haven't seen Vegeta this battle-lusted since the days where he allowed for Babidi to take control of his mind before our battle," with Whis responding, "Well, that's because he honestly is, but I want you to observe very carefully, Goku. Notice how Vegeta's provocations are slowly beginning to get under Lord Cobris' skin," Whis continues, "and Vegeta, although battle-crazed, is playing mind games to create a mental imbalance within Lord Cobris, in going as far as to seek out any opening that he possibly could find to further exploit any lapse in Lord Cobris' focus." "Oh, now I see," Goku responds. "So he intends to stay 5 steps ahead by making sure that Lord Cobris isn't solely focusing on destruction like he should be, but instead going as far as to shift his focus on over to his pride as a God of Destruction, in not wanting to be remembered as a destroyer who went down to a mortal. Is that right, Whis?" With Whis responding, "Well, in essence, yes, as although Lord Cobris is a formidable God of Destruction, even gods have their mental thresholds, and Vegeta is testing those limits by going as far as to look for any sort of crack that he could find and exploit in Lord Cobris' mental armor, for it is a calculated risk that might yield a crucial opportunity for Vegeta if he isn't fortunate enough to seize it. Well, I sure do hope that he could pull it off out there, because from the looks of it," Goku went on to then quickly respond, "that God of Destruction sure doesn't look too happy about what just happened," as Whis went on to turn his head and noticing Beerus leaving by responding, "Yes, as I don't think that Lord Cobris is the only one here who isn't happy either." To which, from out of nowhere within that very moment, moment, as soon as Vegeta from that point was then shown having to throw Cobris' own energy of destruction back at him, was when Vegeta then went on to shout, "Alright, God of Destruction, playtime is over.
Yes,
so
sir.
here, I believe this ball of venomous destruction belongs to you. So try not to let it all go to your head like how you tried to get inside of mine. Now come on and let's see what you're truly made of, you snake." In which, with Universe 14's God of Destruction quickly shown having to leap up out of the way, was when Cobris then went on to respond, "Why, you disingenuous, arrogant, little disrespectful Saiyan. You won't be so lucky to muscle your way out of what you have coming when I get my hands on you, Vegeta. Oh, don't you worry, God of Destruction, because neither can I." Vegeta quickly went on to dash towards Cobris by responding, in which the moment Vegeta from that point had then gone as far as to throw a punch, with Cobris being shown having to grab it, was when Cobris then went on to respond, "Your attempts to elevate yourself to my level are infuriating, Vegeta. For no matter how hard you try, you will never be capable of ever reaching the heights of true godly power, as I will delight in wearing you down and strip you away of your illusions of grandeur, mortal, so you may posture and peen yourself as you were a god, but all I see through my eyes is a dead man." With Vegeta responding, "Then if I'm such a low-level weakling compared to the almighty destroyer of the 14th universe, then why exactly am I still fighting against you? It's almost as if you're not as superior as you claim to be. So what's the matter? Are you feeling a bit of pressure?" The answer as to why is simple, Saiyan. Cobris then went on to quickly respond, "For the reason as to why you are still alive and able to fight back is because of my desire to watch you suffer before I turn what's left of you into dust.
Talk your shit.
As there is nothing more that I want to see than to watch you grovel for your life,
Man, Cobris, shut your bitch ass up,
Oh,
nigga. We ain't worried about you."
Well, I think you're a liar, Destroyer. I don't care what you think, Saiyan. To which, as Cobris was from there shown having to spew out venom, with Vegeta being shown having to move out of the way, was when this destructively acidic venom was nearly shown having to crash down onto Goku, with Whis having to then warn, "Oh dear, watch it now. You don't want to be caught getting hit by that there, Goku." With Goku then quickly responding, "Whoa, just what in the world is that? That looks like some kind of acid. Wait, is that Lord Cobris' venom? Whoa, that was a close one." To which, as Vegeta was then shown having to kick Cobris in the ribs, was when Vegeta then quickly went on to respond, "Your acidic venom is as pathetic as your attempts to control me, Destroyer. And here you call yourself a god of destruction, yet you rely on such cowardly tactics to try and get the job
he a little
done.
bitch.
Well,
I told
guess
him.
what? I will never allow for you to do what you did to me like that again, because it seems like you are more afraid of me than I am of you, Destroyer. And you should be, because while my potential continues to expand, you're afraid of the odds that someone like me would go as far as to surpass someone the likes of you." But it only had now seemed as though Cobris had other plans, because despite with Vegeta being shown having to attempt to strike Cobris yet again, was when Universe 14's God of Destruction Cobris was from there shown wrapping his tail around Vegeta's neck, as Cobris then went on to quickly respond, "I have heard all that I can stand to hear, Saiyan. You think being Beerus' student makes you powerful, Vegeta? Because it doesn't. For all this means is that this makes you a target. For I will ensure that your torture is as excruciating as I could make it out to be. A slow and painful prelude to your ultimate erasure, for this will be the price that you will have to pay. Your allegiance to Beerus is your greatest mistake, Vegeta," Cobris then went on to continue, "and it's going to be one mistake that I will make you regret deeply." In which, despite Cobris now being shown holding Vegeta in front of him by from that point then shown striking him from behind, was when Cobris then went on to continue, "You are nothing but Beerus' lapdog, Vegeta. But even the lapdog can serve a purpose, and I will use you to send a clear message to Beerus. And for you to dare and disrespect me the way you did, I promise you one thing, mortal, for this will not end in the way that you think it will. For I will inflict upon you a level of pain and suffering that even Beerus cannot protect you from, as your erasure will mark the final act in your pathetic saga once and for all," Cobris continues. "And so therefore, let this be how you will forever be remembered.
You know how to get out of that, man.
To know that you were the one who brought this upon yourself, mortal. For this is the end of both you and your pathetic legacy. As Goku from that point then went on to cry out, "Oh no, it's that pose that signals destruction! Vegeta, hurry and get out of the way right now! Lord Cobris is placing his hand on your back to Hakai you! You've got to move out of the way now!" Which surprisingly enough, Vegeta was somehow able to avoid, because just before Cobris was able to Hakai Vegeta from behind was when from out of nowhere within that moment was when Vegeta was shown having to chomp on down and biting deeply into Cobris' tail, as Cobris then went on to shout, "Oh, my tail! What the heck are you doing, you idiot?
Nigga had to pull a Goku. Nigga had to pull a Goku.
Hey, Vegeta just went and did what I would normally go and do. Nice going there, Vegeta," as Cobris then went on to continue, "I said get your disgusting mouth off of my tail, you rotten little animal." To where in pure anger, as Cobris from that point was then shown letting Vegeta go and doing his best attempts of having to strike Vegeta, with Vegeta shown having to move out of the way, was when Whis went on to then chime in, "Oh well, and it's as I thought would start to happen, for it looks like Vegeta was not only able to get inside of Lord Cobris' head by using his own mind games against him, but was also able to cause a momentary disruption as well," to which as Vegeta was then shown kneeing Cobris in the stomach was when Vegeta then went on to respond, "Oh no, you don't, Destroyer. You aren't going to be erasing me that easily, not while I still have unfinished business to settle. I told you that this wasn't going to be as easy as you thought, so can you see it now?" In which within that very moment, as Vegeta was once again shown having to attempt to knee Cobris in the stomach, was when from out of nowhere, that was when Cobris had gone as far as to look on down and noticing something very interesting, as Cobris then went on to respond, "Wait a second, but of course, but I wasn't expecting for that Saiyan to actually know how to pull it off."
Yeah, Vegeta different.
So that explains
Vegeta
it.
different.
He's been channeling his destructive energy into each of his strikes. So that is why he was able to damage me the way he did. He's putting most of his destroyer power into each one of his attacks against me. I should have known, for he must have learned this from Beerus. And as powerful as you are, Vegeta went on to knee Cobris in the stomach again, for as cunning as you may be, even if your knowledge and experience of destruction is greater than mine,
Vegeta different. He know how to do this.
You walk all over me like I'm your pawn. No silence, Saiyan, for I have just about heard enough out of that mouth of yours, and I have had it. I am Lord Cobris, the great destroyer of Universe 14, and therefore I will not be placed into a position where my very power and authority is put into question, Saiyan, for you could never wear me out or run me down, no matter how hard it is that you try. In which seconds later, with Vegeta's body then shown having to hit the ground below and having to startle both Goku and Broly, was when Goku then went on to chime in, "Oh no, this is bad. He nailed Vegeta extremely hard from the looks of that one, and so he might need our help out there. Oh, you've got to get back up and fight, Vegeta, you hear me? That God of Destruction looks as though he is up to something, and so you've got to hurry and get back up on your feet before he makes his next move." But even with Cobris now beginning to create a gigantic energy ball up above him, was when Cobris then went on to respond, "And if you think that I'll go and waste any more time on you, then guess again. For what I intend to go and do next will be the result of your absolute destruction, whether you attempt to fight it or not, Vegeta. For you should have remembered my offer and what I could have given you when you did.
Nigga, nobody trying to be fucking controlled, nigga.
Oh, I agree," Vegeta went on to utter beneath the smoke, "because soon we'll see on exactly which one of us will truly be the last warrior standing." To which, surprisingly enough, with Vegeta now shown having to flick his wrist upwards, and from that point then be shown having to redirect the same ball of Hakai energy that Vegeta was shown having to throw in the beginning, was when the only other individual that just so happened to have seen this was none other than Cobris' Angel Merlith, as Angel
What? Nah, Angel, shut your ass up. Nigga ain't supposed to be talking, son. Let the nigga get his ass whooped.
Oh, look out behind you, Lord
Let him get his
Cobris.
ass whooped, son.
Vegeta is redirecting that ball, which consists of your venomous destruction energy, right back towards you from behind. It was a trap the entire time, but then
let your guard down,
Cobris
bitch.
even had the opportunity to do anything to stop the ball of energy, was when the ball of venomous destructive energy was from there shown having to slam into Cobris' spine and having to cause Cobris and breaking up his attack in the sky, with Vegeta then having to respond, "You may be a mighty and deadly god of destruction, but you could never be able to walk in my shoes to know what true pain feels feels like. But the pain that I'm about to inflict upon you will be a testament to both my strength and my resolve, Vegeta then went on to continue. For I will never betray the principles that I fought so very hard for to uphold, nor the very God who has pushed me into becoming the warrior who I am today. For this is what it means to wield true pride, Cobris. And for that, I will never surrender my identity nor turn my back on this universe. For this is my home, you snake. Now this is where you fall, Destroyer. Final destructive flash. Whoa, just look at the size of that thing, Goku responds. So Vegeta was able to somehow find a way to combine his Hakai with the final flash? Incredible. Yes,
that's a dangerous move right there.
Vegeta? Oh no, you don't, feeble creature. Over my dead body you won't, Vegeta. Hakai! To where as Cobris was then shown having to Hakai Vegeta's destructive final flash during the midst of it making contact, it only had now appeared as though both individuals were seemingly locked at a stalemate as Whis went on to then chime in. Oh dear, well this might actually become a much bigger problem than how we originally assumed for it to be, because unless Vegeta is able to channel enough power to muscle through Lord Cobris' Hakai, then I'm afraid Lord Cobris will continue to push back and erase Vegeta's attack until he is ultimately worn down and caught in the middle of Lord Cobris' erasure attack. Well, that's not good. This is all or nothing, Goku then went on to shout. So you've got to slam that God of Destruction with everything you have or he'll erase you, Vegeta. So don't stop. We all know that you have the power to do it. So this is your chance, Vegeta. Whatever it takes, just don't let that destroyer be what erases your legacy. We know that you have the power to win. As Vegeta
I like that. I like that. I like that cheering on.
Your biggest mistake since coming onto this world was ever thinking, even for a second, that we mortals in the 7th are anything like you've come to know. For my pride is not just a mere trait, but it's the very source of my strength that has carried me through wars that would have broken lesser beings. And so this is why we are different, and as you wield destruction as a weapon, for a Saiyan like me, it's an extension of my very being, Vegeta continues. The force that I constantly refine and redefine through many battles. And with our potential being ever ascending, that was where you were wrong.
Yes, sir.
You were wrong to think that I'd bend the knee and accept you as my ruling god without a fight. And as I carry within me the legacy of my warrior race, a legacy of survival, battle, and unyielding determination, when channeled through the power of destruction, it creates a force unlike any other, and that is what you face right now, Destroyer. For I was blinded to have turned myself over to another's control once before, but I will never allow for myself to ever be placed in that position ever again. And if it means that I'll die with my pride and my dignity intact, then so be it, Cobris. As Cobris then went on to respond, and what difference does it possibly make when you're staring up at the face of your annihilation, Cobris questions. How could your so-called warrior's pride be anything strong enough that will help you survive, Vegeta? As this is why you are weak. Your blinded trust in a god who had failed you along with your feeble mortal pride is what will be your undoing. Your grudges with Lord Beerus are none of my concern, Vegeta responds. But Lord Beerus saw something more within me than you could have ever have possibly seen, past using me as your puppet, Destroyer. For he saw a warrior with the hunger to grow stronger and to overcome anything that was put in my way. And it was this very growth fueled by my honor along with his belief in me that makes me more than a match for any god of destruction, including you. So you might be a god of destruction, but you lack the understanding of a true warrior's ambition to fight with honor, Vegeta continues. And that is what gives me focus and
I like shit, Vegeta. Talk
over you.
That nigga a bitch.
And as long as that remains intact, then I will never fall to the likes of you. For I am Prince Vegeta, the very embodiment of a Saiyan Destroyer. As within that very moment, with Vegeta unleashing his full power and having to overtake Cobris completely, was when Cobris then went on to shout, "But how? This shouldn't be possible! For I am a god! Oh, curse you, Vegeta!" Oh man, it feels like the entire universe is shaking after an explosion like that, Goku went on to then quickly respond. But I think he got him. Vegeta was actually able to push through and overcome Lord Cobris' might, but the question is, are they done? Though I will give Vegeta the tremendous amount of credit that he deserves, Whis went on to respond. Even though he was able to land such a powerful and lethal attack on Lord Cobris, I do not believe that this is over, for if you look closely at Vegeta right now, he looks to have overexerted himself to the point of total exhaustion, to which back up in the sky through the smoke as Lord Cobris was then shown standing, it only had now looked as though Cobris was barely shown having to even go as far as to survive this, as Cobris went on to then utter, Why, you wretched little man. I haven't felt pain like this for as long as I have been a destroyer, but at last, I still stand, Vegeta, for you may have weakened me, but I still stand before you, mortal. But I will say that you almost had me, but I still stand, Vegeta. And as worn out and damaged as I am still far above what you are now, and that's where you have failed. And now that I know that you are without any more power left, it's time for me to show you what real destruction looks like.
Oh,
but then,
shit.
It was only from out of nowhere now above
Vegeta ain't,
Vegeta was then
Vegeta different, nigga. Vegeta different.
As Vegeta then went on to respond, and that's where you're once again wrong about what you think you know, so guess again, you fool. You what? But how are you able to move behind me without me being able to see you leave the ground, Saiyan? You should worry less about how I was able to use instant transmission to get behind you and worry more about what's about to happen.
Oh yeah,
to
it's
you,
transmission.
destroyer.
I forgot about that.
Which as Vegeta was then shown kicking Cobris on down to the ground and creating a shock force that echoed all throughout the landscape, was when Goku then went on to add, Vegeta, you dog, I knew that was what you went and used to get behind him, but it does look like this is far from over then, since neither of them are shown giving an inch to the other, to which as Vegeta was then shown having to pin Cobris on down to the ground, it only had now looked as though with Vegeta being the only one standing between the two that indeed Vegeta was in full control of this situation, as Vegeta then went on to respond, your vendetta and battle against me
I like shit,
done,
Vegeta.
and
Fuck
while
that.
I may be at my limits, I still have enough power within me to go and do one more thing if you refuse to cooperate. For you have shown me that there are gods who dwell beyond our previous understanding, who are mightier than we ever could have imagined, but there you lie beneath my boots defeated, and so I will only give you one chance. Swallow your arrogance and admit defeat right now. Stand down and quit while you have the chance.
Damn, making niggas quit is crazy.
For you went and overplayed your hand. Refuse? Then I will go and do what no other mortal has ever dared to go and try to do before, as I will erase you here and now. As you should know after searching my spirit that I'll go and do it too. Now accept your defeat gracefully or be erased from history. My patience is wearing thin. And since you were so sure
But Hakai don't work if you weaker than the
that I
person.
had broken you from within firstly, just like how you did with me in your universe, then now you know, and so now say it. Surrender and admit that you've been beaten, or I will do the unprecedented and erase a god of destruction myself forever. So don't test my resolve. This is what you meant by releasing the monster within, is that right? Well, here it is. Now
Yes, sir.
say it.
Yes, sir.
Lost. Quit and go back to your universe with some dignity, destroyer. For maybe now you can see that you were wrong about what you saw coming from me, so now say it. I will never back down, Saiyan. You just got lucky, and so I refuse. I swear on the lives of my children and on my very honor that this is your last chance to admit defeat, or I will channel every fiber of my very being and eradicate you right now. Concede your defeat now or die forever, God of Destruction. Now say it. Curse you, wretched Saiyan.
Oh shit.
I concede. I give up, mortal. Now get off of me. In which finally now with Cobris admitting defeat and proving that Vegeta was more than worthy of contending against the God of Destruction was when Whis went on to then chime in, well, I'll be. He really did it. Vegeta was actually able to get into Lord Cobris' head and wear him down to the point of victory. I can't believe it. Way to go, Vegeta. You did it, Goku.
You did that. You did that,
You actually
nigga.
did it. you broke through your shell
Fucking
and
Vegeta,
used your
son.
resolve as your ultimate weapon to
I think Vegeta's
win.
becoming more and more
That
my
was
favorite
just
character,
amazing,
man.
with Vegeta now being shown
Outside
back
of
in armor by
Gohan.
responding, "Oh, it took you long enough, Destroyer. And so maybe now you will open your eyes and see
I just want to
that
see him get a big
even we
dub, bro.
mortals can prove
He gotta
ourselves
kill
to be
Frieza
more than
in that manga,
worthy."
in the actual manga.
You disgust
He gotta
me,
kill
Cobris
Frieza.
responds. "Now get away from me, Saiyan." So let this be a reminder to you, Vegeta went on to then power down, that we here are far more than just pawns, for we are warriors who will fight for what we believe in, Destroyer. And although you and I are done here, Vegeta continues, you were far more than I could have expected from a god and a worthy adversary indeed. Very good. Well done, Vegeta. Beerus then surprisingly went on to say to himself as he went on to observe Vegeta's battle with Cobris, "For I had to see it to actually believe it, and to think that not only is Vegeta able to simply wield the power of a god of destruction, but best one in battle too, is eye-opening. And as your progress is more than just impressive," Beerus continues, "for it's a testament to your relentless training and wanting to be the best, which is something that I am now able to see. And maybe this was what I needed to see, because if this day has taught me anything, it's that I think it's time that I start taking my responsibilities
Yeah, man, you about to
as
get
a
cooked
god
by
of
these Saiyans,
destruction
nigga.
more seriously. For I will go and use this day as a great reminder to myself that I will never fall like how I did ever again. And as I will recommit myself to the discipline of my training with a newfound intensity to ensure that my name remains synonymous with unparalleled might." In which back down below with the others now shown having to gather together, with Goku being shown rushing towards Vegeta's aid, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Well, I'm glad that things are finally settled, cause you look like a mess, Vegeta. And you really gave us all a scare back there when you were under his control, cause I didn't think that there was any sort of way of being able to get through to you," with Vegeta responding, "Well, you're lucky that I didn't end you on the fly when I did, Kakarot, because I could have," with Angel Merlin having to respond, "Are you alright, Lord Cobris? Shall we go back to Universe 14 and leave the Saiyans of this world as they are while we go and take our leave? How could I have allowed myself to let that worm get inside of my head is beyond me," and angry Cobris went on to then respond, "But I will not leave until I claim his head. No, for our story is not over, Vegeta. Now disappear, Huck." What? In which, shockingly enough, with the god of destruction of Universe 14, Cobris being shown having to aim his arm down with the intention of erasing Vegeta, was when from out of nowhere at the same time, Vegeta was also now shown doing the same thing, as Vegeta then went on to respond, "I knew there was something that was off, and I was right to have assumed what I felt, because it's like I said, I'll go as far as I need to if it means proving my point." "So you knew, but how did you know?" Cobris went on to then question. "So you truly weren't bluffing when you said you died to prove your worth after all," with Vegeta responding,
Yes, sir.
"It's
That's
like
fucking
Lord
Vegeta,
Beerus
nigga.
had mentioned to me prior, before creation comes destruction. And to use that power the way that it was always meant to be used would require for me to always think about destroying, and I am." "I see," Cobris responds. "Very wise of you to act on your instincts to destroy rather than ponder on it. Very well then, Vegeta, but let me go and make one thing very clear to you and set the record straight by saying that I don't like you," Cobris continues. "And while you may have used these mind games to disrupt my focus on destruction, I cannot deny your potential as a mortal who wields
give him his credit.
power. And while your mind games were a clever ruse during our fight, you still have a very long way to go if you hope to be any sort of match to a god's true power, Vegeta. For you are still very far away from being my equal, and deep down you know this to be the truth, Saiyan. And even though I cannot stand the sight of you, I don't have to like you to see that you have some sort of merit as being a student of a destroyer. And so for that alone, you have earned my respect, Saiyan. So consider this a sign of my acknowledgement towards you in recognizing your standing among the gods."
Okay.
I rarely ever express such signs of understanding, especially to the likes of a mortal such as yourself, Cobris continues, but consider yourself the first in having me do this for Vegeta, with Vegeta being shown grabbing onto Cobris' arm by then responding, "Consider yourself the first in having me do this for Vegeta." Vegeta, with Vegeta then being shown responding, "Well, would you go and look at that, acknowledged by another mighty god of destruction. Who would have thought? But I accept, for you have my mutual respect in return." Right, but understand this, Vegeta, Cobris went on to then continue. "This changes nothing between us, for it's as I said to you before, you and I are far from finishing this story, and now that I can see on what kind of a warrior you truly are, I will be back for you again one day, and I won't be as merciful to you like how I am now. For I want you to mark my words, Vegeta, we will
Man, you ain't ready for Vegeta with his other form, nigga. You not ready for Vegeta when he gets his other form,
your
nigga.
Ground by representing Beerus's pathetic name, he can now consider his debt to be paid from here on, but I want you to remember that I will fight you again one day, and no matter where it is that I fight you, whether it's in this universe, my universe, or any other, I will not lose to you a second time around, Vegeta. So heed my warning, mortal, and remember this moment. Now let us go, Merlith." In which within that very moment, as Vegeta was now shown having to oversee Cobris and Merlith having to leave Universe 7, was when Vegeta then went on to say to himself, "So you intend for us to have a rematch someday, is that it, Destroyer? Well, good, because I welcome the challenge of beating you again, and maybe next time I too will be much different than what I am now. So until that day comes, I will train and wait for your invitation to battle, Cobris."
I like shit.
"Oh, a rematch, huh?" Goku went on to then chime in. "Well, I wouldn't mind having a crack at fighting Lord Cobris myself, if I'm being honest here, so what do you think, Vegeta? You think maybe you can swap out and let me get a turn in with him, or what?
Goku, shut your bitch ass up.
Vegeta responding, "As if you think you'd come close in making a Destroyer quit like how I did is ridiculous, Kakarot, so wait your turn." "No, come on, Vegeta, you know I would have had you join me when we went to go face off against Lord Reno, so that's not fair." "Yeah, well, too bad," Vegeta responds, "and besides, Lord Cobris is far tougher to deal with in battle than you realize, but maybe I'll consider Broly next time, since you already had your turn at fighting a god, so now stop asking." As in the meantime, while all of this was shown going down on Beerus's planet, when then making our way back on over to Earth, it only now appears as though the battle involving Piccolo, Gohan, and Cell Max had now reached its conclusion, as Gohan went on to respond, "Wow, what a crazy day, huh, Piccolo? And here I imagine that just when we thought that we were done dealing with more androids, out comes Cell again, who nearly cost us all everything." As Piccolo went on to respond, "Well, I'm finally glad that this entire mess is over and done with, because that was a close one, especially if you haven't went and transformed into, well, whatever that form of yours was just now, so it's good to see things finally go back to how they should. So how do you feel?" With Gohan responding, "Well, I can't say that I'm really pleased by what happened here, but I'm sure glad that Cell Max is gone for good now. I mean, who would have thought that someone would go and try to think that bringing back Cell only as a gigantic, mindless monster was going to be a good idea, right? But as for that form just now, I think I've got a really cool name for it, so I think I'm going to go and call it Beast. Yeah, that's a cool enough name, I think." "Wait, but are you really sure about this?" Dr. Hedo went on to question Bulma. "I mean, I could just go and turn myself into the police because I truly don't want to cause any more trouble." With Bulma responding, "No, don't worry about all of that. As long as we can put that brain of yours to good use and not build giant human-crushing robots like Cell Max again, then I think we're going to be just fine." With Gohan having to then respond, "Hey, speaking of just now, have you seen Pan anywhere, Piccolo? She was just here a moment ago and now she's completely—" "Papa! Papa!" Pan went on to then quickly shout, shit. "You won't believe what just happened. I went and made a new friend." "Wait, what? You went and made a new friend all the way out here? Okay, sweetie, but..." "Wait, Gohan, look. She's holding on to someone's hand, so there's something, or rather someone, standing behind her." As Pan went on to then respond, "I did, shit. Papa, I really, really did, and he's the best. Shit. And well, I've never really made a friend like this before, not even in school, and he's a little shy, but look, he's right
Gohan fighting a little nigga.
Say hi to my Papa and Uncle Piccolo, Mr. Green Leprechaun." In which, shockingly enough, from behind Pan stepping forward was none other than Universe 15's God of Destruction, Gardox, as Gardox went on to then respond, "Well, hiya there, mortals. You know, I really wasn't expecting to find myself on such a tiny little strange planet like this, but, well, there was something about what I felt coming from this world that I was just dying to find out about, and well, here I am. And just in case if you needed to know, I go by the name of Gardox, the god of destruction of Universe 15. And since I can already see that the big green one over there is more than likely referred to as Uncle Piccolo, then you must be the father of this child then, aren't you? Wait, are you serious? Bulma then went on to question. He's a god of destruction from Universe 15? But I thought that there were only 12 universes in total, you guys.
Damn.
Gohan, she doesn't understand the gravity of the situation that she is in, Piccolo went on to whisper. We've got to go and get her away from that destroyer immediately, with Gohan responding, easy there, alright. Now, Pan, why don't you let go of that nice little, leprechaun's hand and come over here, okay? No, I actually think she'll be staying right here next to me for the time being, Papa Gohan. At least until I am able to get some answers around here and getting down to the bottom of a few things, and especially after sensing such an incredible power that was emanating from this world. And so now, what do you say we all go and play a little game then, shall we, Gardox questions? Because I don't know about all of you, but I have all the time in the world to spare, especially now that I'm here. As it was only right then and there now,
he trying to fight Beast.
Where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 14 manga chapter finale, then comes to a close. So before anything else, what a conclusive battle, with Vegeta being shown also having a victory over one of the newly resurrected gods of destructions, this time having to be one that came from Universe 14, is only going to further establish the fact that Cobris and Vegeta are going to have their rematch, but not in this story, wink wink, as everything is going to be laid and planned out for the future to come, as I can't wait to show you guys as to what is about to transpire next, because needless to say, coming up next, we are going to be entering into both the Universe 15 and Universe 16 sagas, which I really do think you guys are going to enjoy, specifically when seeing what Gardox is going to be doing with Gohan, and along with Universe 16's God of Destruction Ferrix and what he wants to do with Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. So to that, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a great ending to another arc. I love this arc, Universe 14 arc, Cobris. I hated that nigga, so that means he's a good character. Vegeta, and you know what I'm saying, Vegeta getting dubs. I love it. I can't wait to the next arc. You know, Gohan got to show out. Come on now, Gohan got to show out. You know what I'm saying? We can't take a L. We can't take a L now. Anyway, shout out to UnrealEntGaming, bro. This nigga, he just kills it, bro, every time. So, you like my reactions, please like, comment, subscribe. This will be the last chapter right here, and be another story right here. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.